I also read that you feel like you have imposter syndrome sometimes. And so like I'm experiencing that in the tech world, trying to cross over and get acceptance in that world. So talk to us about, your Sasha Fierce, where you're like, I'm locked in. I saw your notes, you study for every game. When do you feel like you're at your best? Or what was that moment you're like, I'm really good at this?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely still feel imposter syndrome. I'm mindful, Andre, right? That I have to go about my job very differently than, say, Mark Jackson. Mark's still top 5, I think, in assists. Jeff Van Gundy has coached in an NBA Finals. Hubie Brown has affected more generations of basketball people on more continents than any living human being. So I almost feel, guys, like there's, when you play basketball from the time you're this high, you understand the nuance, the spacing, just a lot of little things. But I've still never played or coached in the NBA, right? I mean, that's an impossibility, not coaching anymore. So I think, and I don't know. I don't know why I can't get past this imposter syndrome, but I know this. I'm not the only announcer to feel it. Mike Breen and I talk about it all the time. Yeah. Holly Rowe and I, we function like our next contract's going to be our last with ESPN. I think bringing that edge to whatever field of endeavor you happen to be in is probably a good thing. But there have been moments where, listen, you guys know, you step off the lines, you step outside those lines, and I either contributed to winning or at times was I a hindrance to what happened on the floor. Maybe I struggled or my shot didn't go, whatever the case may be. Like, I know when at this point, I've been in it so long, if I step off the air, I'll say, wow, you know what? We had a good broadcast. And that takes so many people doing their jobs well, guys, like the people in the truck, audio, tape, camera, director, producer. So many people go into having a good telecast. But there have been little moments like, Andre, I'm going to be honest with you. You saying that you guys, and Evan, you saying you enjoy my telecast, you have no idea how much that helps me. Like, that still is like, oh, okay. The guys I cover are okay with me. That's cool. It's not to say you agree with every point of analysis I make. Nobody does. But hopefully, I think what I feel more than anything is I feel there's respect both ways. I respect how hard it is to make the NBA. I respect how hard it is to sustain success. If you're a coach, sometimes your livelihood is at stake every single night. And I love the game, right? Like, I love the game. So hopefully the viewer feels that with me.
We all have these huge aspirations to be a part of the NBA in any capacity. Like, just being at this level, it's continuing to grow. It's a $10 billion annual industry. And there's a lot that comes with it. You just spoke on it. The viewer doesn't really know what really goes through our minds or the issues that we deal with off the court. So for you, what are some things where it's like, there's gifts and there's curse to success. So what are some of the things you never would imagine would come with it that you were like, wow, like I never realized I would have to deal with this because of the success that I've gotten over the years?
Yeah. One thing, and I've said this, and you guys are closer to the generation where you have lived it every single day of your lives, and that's social media. And I just had this conversation with an administrator at Providence College, and I'm really thankful for colleagues like Cassidy Hubbarth and Malika Andrews, who are younger than me, and can share the perspective of this generation. So one of the things that has come with success, I've covered men's college basketball as an analyst and the NBA as an analyst. And that was at first unusual. And so when a viewer would tune into me in that position, what would they do first? They do what everybody does when something is foreign or they're unaccustomed to it. They draw back from it. They question, what is he or she doing in that particular spot? And there have been moments in the advent of social media where I've had some really ugly feelings kind of sent my way. And, sometimes it feels like every time I'm on a broadcast, I could be trending. And that makes me slightly uncomfortable. I don't like this. Believe it or not, you're going to I love my job. I don't necessarily love being in the public eye. That sounds ridiculous because I'm in the public eye, and my kids laugh at me when I say that. But I am thankful, you guys, that I had a certain amount of time and confidence and equity built up before social media became a thing, because I'm not sure I could have withstood some of what came at me on social media.